Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 12th of June 2020. Welcome to video number 168. And today we're going to talk about self-esteem. And it might be kind of interesting to see, because yesterday we talked about self-confidence and how is that, what is that really the difference? And because I kind of stumbled upon great quote from Dan Pena. He just posted it like today or yesterday on his Instagram. He said that self-confidence is how you act, but self-esteem is how you feel. I thought, wow, this is awesome. And not only I started to think about it, but also I thought maybe it's a good way to, or good thing to record a video about it, because it will give you much broader kind of view on the matters, which comes first, and what do you need to have the other one. So let's look at it this way. If self-confidence is how you act, it will require something from you to have to base your actions upon, right? So that's why self-esteem, I like this definition that he gave, that self-esteem is how you feel. This is what you build, and then out of that you act accordingly. And that's why I want to talk about it, because you've got to understand that there are two major pathways that I can see you can build your self-esteem. First of all is your self-awareness, is what do you know about yourself, and this is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So to give you much more info about it, and but the second pathway that you can take is about building your wisdom and your knowledge about how the world works, how the interpersonal relationship work. What is the difference between how we as guys think and how they as ladies think? And what is required, what is expected from you, and why? So today I want to concentrate on that part, because you've got to understand that this is why my project is called Manhood Explained. Because I saw that years ago, that it's so crucial for us to understand that we need to understand things to be able to act accordingly, to be able to know what to do when something happens. And let me explain with a simple example. A few years ago, I did some orthodontic thing with my teeth, and I spent some time going to the place that I allowed myself to be operated on to some degree. And so I basically straightened my teeth just a little bit, because I had some issues there. And I remember after first consultation, the doctor who kind of been my leading doctor in this whole procedure, she asked me to show her how I clean my teeth. And I said, okay. So I showed her how they taught us in school, right? So you do the circle motions and so on. And she told me that, well, you see, you do it wrong, because this is the way how we teach our kids in primary school. But for the older people, this is how we do. And she just showed that you basically clean, teeth like this, especially if you've got electric toothbrush. And I was surprised that someone, me, almost 40-year-old guy, that was a few years ago, but it doesn't matter, basically says that I'm doing, that I clean my teeth wrongly. I was like, is that even possible? And I was laughing to myself, laughing to her openly, because it was a really awkward situation. Not by, that I'm doing it wrong, but awkward that someone has to teach me, being an adult male, teach me how to do this basic thing. But if you look close enough, there's so many other areas that we've got the same thing. Like the people who teach speed reading. They tell you that the way we are taught to read is like a basic thing that we teach our kids. But there's so many better ways to do this, but nobody teaches us that. So that's why huge majority of people read slowly as we do. Only those who are who learn this fast reading techniques, they're able to go through pages really fast in comparison to the rest. So this is the same thing with you in general public, in in space in between other people, because you've got some basics that you observed, that you thought, that someone maybe taught you a little bit. But there are so many better ways, and you can kind of get much more mature in how you perceive world and how you act. And that's why my project is about wisdom, is about explaining you the things that at least I was able to understand and figure out. And the part of building your self-esteem that we're talking about today is exactly that. Teaching you this better way to clean your teeth, to teach you this better way of, the fast read, so you'll be able to be much better than the rest of the people. And that's why, because huge majority of people have this knowledge about interpersonal relationship and all of this that we say about manhood and relationship on such a basic level. That's why so many of us are having issues with relationships. We're having issues with understanding what we want. We're having issues with getting angry all the time because we don't know, we don't have this self-esteem built on the knowledge. So you've got to understand that everything that you do and everything, or every way that you react to things, like you're going into the workplace, there's a girl that you like. What do? Are you so confident and have such a high level of self-esteem that you can go talk to her, know exactly what you want from her? Do you look for a partner, or do you need a friend, or maybe you look just for one night stand? I don't know how HR would react to that, but you know what I'm saying. Everything is built on your self-esteem, on your knowledge, how this whole thing works. And then many other things, like maybe you start to argue in public with your wife. What you gonna do then? All these things that many of us are struggling with is built on self-esteem. As self-esteem is built on your understanding of how this whole thing works. That's why I'm jumping from subject to subject in my videos, from like high-level abstract things about like self-esteem, self-confidence, to the like ground level things. You start to argue what you're supposed to do. She starts to cry. What you supposed to do? What does it mean? So then, no matter what happens, you'll be able to go into the situation and say, okay, this happens because this is how we communicate, this is how we're wired, and I can see that this guy got angry and he start swinging because of this and that, and this is how he's supposed to react, and this girl started to cry because this is how we react, this is what happened, someone said something stupid, and I can kind of assume some of the things. You may be right, may be wrong, but at least you know how to react. So your self-esteem is built on your level of wisdom that you have about whatever happens and how the thing works. So that's kind of abstract view, but I want you to kind of understand why I'm going such deep into some subjects and why it's important for you to understand it. Because this is what I want you to take from this video. Your self-confidence, and we're able to act with it, it's based on your self-esteem. Self-esteem is built on your wisdom of understanding how interpersonal relationships work. What is the difference between how we as men are wired, how they as ladies are wired, and it's based on your understanding what they'll require from you and need from you as a guy if you want to build a relationship, and what you will need from them to feel good in a relationship as well. As this outside wisdom, without talking about self-awareness that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So think about it and do something about it, because it's all about you understanding which part of the knowledge you're lacking, and then getting wisdom on about this subject, because then you'll be able to say, okay, I know what does it mean, I know what to do, I've got my self-esteem, and then I'm able to act with self-confidence. If you like this video, share, like, comment. If you didn't, just comment as well, give me a shout. What is your point of view or your angle on the subject? And if there's anything you want me to record about, give me a shout, I'll be glad to do it for you. That being said, see you tomorrow.